going to show you how to use Adobe Fireworks to create a logo. Now, what we're going to do is trace over a logo that was already been done by hand, and basically a photo of that logo has been taken and then just put onto the computer. So I'm going to start off with a new Fireworks document. So you can see here, I can either pick on Create New Fireworks Document here, and you'll get the canvas size for a new document up, or and go to File and New, and the same thing comes up. So what I'm going to do is pick 800 by 600, okay, which is a good enough number for this, good enough size. The resolution is 72 because this is good enough for digital displays, so for websites this would be fine. And you might want to put it up to 300 if you were going to do this for printing. Okay. The other thing you can do is probably change it to centimeters and so on. So if you want to do it by A4, you would need to know the measurements in centimeters of A4 or A3 and so on. Okay. So we'll just leave 800 by 600 and resolution 72. And here we go. We've got the image here. Now I'm going to then find my image, which I have over here in logos, and these are some logos that students made. So what I'm going to do is just make one of them. So I'm going to take this one and just drag it in. So you can see you can use Explorer to do this. I've got Finder here on a Mac, but you can use Explorer. Now when I drag it in, it's obviously massive, so I need to click on it and I need to move it into position, but it's obviously too big, so I'm going to zoom out using Control and the mouse wheel. And then I can see the whole size of it now. I'll do Control T, and I can then grab it from the corner and bring it in and make it smaller. So I actually might make it a wee bit bigger than what it is there. So just put it up on the top of my picture and pull out a little bit more, a little bit more. And when you're happy, what you can do is then just click on the pointer tool. And once you've clicked on the pointer tool, then that's obviously set in stone the way it is, okay? So it's that size. Right, on the layers panel, you can see you might have things like history, you might have styles here, and so on. What I'm going to do is just get rid of those. So double click where it says styles, and that will minimize that. Double click where it says history, minimize that. And it might be on pages, so you need to click on the tab that you want. So I've got it on layers now, and I can see there's my bitmap. So that's what this is, a bitmap image, because it was taken on a camera. So it's a bitmap. So I'm going to lock that so I can't move it by accident. And then I'm just going to start creating all of these shapes. So I'll start off with the back one, which is just an ellipse tool. So ellipse, and then I just draw an ellipse. Now you need to hold shift if you want to do a perfect circle. So you can see I want to do it roughly about that size. And then pointer tool, move it into place, right? So that's more or less correct. And now I might choose some of the things I want. So here you can see it's going from a yellow to an orange. So that would be down here, I need to pick, well, if I pick an orange, a darker orange, and then maybe slightly lighter, possibly like that. And then I pick this next one along from, this is a solid color, and then this would be a gradient. So if I pick the gradient, and you can see it's already automatically doing it. Linear is actually exactly the way I want it. So instead of white, I want a yellow. Okay, so maybe not dark, sort of enough of a change. There's a bit better. Maybe take the orange and do it a bit darker actually. Right, okay, so that's starting to look better. Now you can also control the level here. If you go to this little bar, you can see I can do this kind of thing. And I can also pull this black dot down. You can see that happens, right? So you might want to make those kind of adjustments. Now I've also got a black line that goes around this, so I would just pick the outline to be black. I'll probably do it about 6, and then basic soft rounded. Okay, so that's a bit better, but actually I'll put it up, bump it up to about 15, maybe 20. That looks better. Right, so put that in position. Okay, now obviously I've put that in position. I can't see the rest of my image to trace it. So what I'm going to do is on the opacity and the layers panel, just bring that down to like say 50 maybe, 50, 60. maybe about 60. Okay, good. And now I can see the background image. Now it doesn't line up perfectly because this logo wasn't a perfect circle, of course. So I'm going to lock that ellipse, and then I'm just going to do more or less the same size of image here. So I'm going to start off with this one at the top and go right down to the bottom, hopefully more or less straight really, and then pull that out to the side, and you can see I'm getting that surfboard. And the next one, the next bend, well, it's trying to do a bend, but I don't want a bend, so I'm going to click on that last pixel or point, vector point that I put in, and go back up to the top to join this up, but holding the mouse button, I could pull this out like that. And that's pretty good. So I'm going to actually get rid of the color in the middle for the moment, so it's just that black line. And then I'm going to lock that one, and then again do another one in between, right? So here's this one in the middle, and click on this point and do this one, just like that, right? Pretty good. Lock it. Okay, so what about this one here? So this is going to just be a line coming down to here, bit of a bend on it maybe, and then back up to here and a bit of a bend on that, like that. Now, as this is not actually a shape that I'm joining up, I could make it a shape by just trying to follow the outline of this to make it one shape. If I don't want to do a shape, then what I need to do is click on the pointer tool, click off the shape, and then if I go back to the pointer tool, you can see, or the pen tool, sorry, I called it pointer tool, I can now do another shape after that. So I can lock that one in place. Okay, perfect. Right, I'm actually going to get rid of all of these for the moment, hide them. Okay, so there's the circle. And I'm going to unlock the circle and make a copy of it. Now, the reason I'm doing that is because I'm going to do these waves. So with the pointer tool, select the circle, do Control C and then Control V, and I'm going to do 2 extra copies. So I'm going to then lock one of the circles, make the other 2 invisible for the moment, and then I'm going to use them afterwards. And you'll see what I'm doing. I'm going to take the pencil and I'm going to start drawing this wave. Okay, and I'm going to start outside of the circle and just go into the circle. So outside, you can see it's crossing over here. Click on that last point to bring this down, round about here to do this wave. Click there again, do the next wave, so I can actually make it look as if it's like that. Of course, it's going to go behind this surfboard. Right, click back on this one, and about here, finish it off to that point. Right, now I'm going to click back on that point, and what I'm going to do is just bring this right round the outside and join it together. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is bring one of these circles back on the scene. So I need to have, I've got 3 because I need to use 2 of them. So I'm going to have that ellipse, one of the circles, and I'm going to select the path that I've just drawn, this wave. So I'll hold down Control and click on that, so you can see they're both selected. Right, at the top, modify, combine paths, and crop. And as you can see, I've just been left with this one, which is the wave now. Okay, I can make that invisible. I'll put it back up to opacity 100, and then I will make it invisible. I'm going to do the next one. So down here is another little wave. Bring that down to there. So every time I want to do a curve, I just need to hold the mouse button down. If I don't want to do a curve, I click and let go. Okay, so when I click there, now I've got that wave. If I let go of the mouse, you can see now it's wanting to do a bend. click back on the last point, it gives me a straight line, but I don't want a straight line, I want to do another bend, so I'm holding the mouse button down. There you go. Right, so I'm outside again. Just bring this round, finish the shape up, pointer tool, and I've got that one selected. Then I need to select one of my last ellipse, hold down Control, make sure I've got those both selected, and modify, combine paths, and crop, and there you've got it. Right, so now the next thing I probably want to do is actually do the colors of these. So this one, as you can see, is underneath here. So if I do this one first, the color's probably not right. So if I put a blue on here, you can see it's actually, I've got a darkish blue here, so maybe I can do a dark blue. And going to a lighter blue, like that. But I need to turn it on, of course. And maybe I want it to be the other way, the light blue down the bottom. So what I can do is grab this and just turn it the other way around, like that. And I'm using the pointer tool, as you can see, to do that. So then I've got this one. Right, now if I turn on the other path or the other wave, you can see it's actually behind, so I need to grab it and pull it up. And this one I'm going to put it back to being 100% because it's not 100%. And with this one, I've just got to make it a sort of very light blue color. Okay, so I'll just put that on, and same again. This one's even lighter blue, and then a slightly darker one, maybe like that. Now, you can't see too much of a difference there, so what I'm going to do is adjust this so it's a bit like that. Yeah, now you can see it a bit better, so it's getting that effect. If I turn this one back on, you can see now one's behind the other. Now, if I had a problem with that, you know, I have to switch them around and do it like this, switch them around, so it's the right way. And the ellipse tool's behind, so it's fine. Obviously I want to make it 100% again, so it's fully visible. Right, so our image is starting to come along. If I put this one then on top, it's supposed it has to be white. So this one is just white, like that. Possibly want to move these into the center. This one was like a reddish color, so I'm going to do a sort of pinkish reddish color. And then the last one, we'll have to actually go behind this shape like that, so it was there. Okay, so that looks a bit too thick, so I'm going to just change it down to about 10. Not too bad, but as you can see, it's not quite going to the edge. Now, how do I adjust that? Well, I use the sub-selection tool, and I can click on there, click on that one vector, and just with the arrow keys on the keyboard, just move it. And this one too, just move it over to there. That looks a bit better now. Okay, so zoom out, and I can actually just then take off the background image. I'm left with just this. You can see I might need to make some adjustments to this, so I'm going to lock the background bits and then just select these three. Okay, so these three top ones, and I'm going to just move it because it doesn't look like it's completely centered. So that's a little bit better, and you can see now that part of the wave as well, so it looks a bit better like that. And then at the bottom, is that okay? Well, here is slightly off, so sub-selection tool, that white one again, just click on that little vector. I can just adjust it, as you can see. Go up to the top, is it okay? And then this one sort of pokes out a wee bit. Now I need to select that one there. So hopefully I can just bring that in. Okay, so that one's in a bit, and that's this one. So it's just gone in a wee bit, so it's not outside of that circle. A bit more. Top one. That's about right now. At the bottom, you can see it pokes out a little tiny bit there. Just bring that one in. So these are just fine adjustments that you can do with your sub selection tool. It's really, really helpful, that white one. And there you have it, finished logo. Fantastic.